Why did India and Saudi Arabia not support the USA at the Ukraine summit? In a world of shifting diplomatic alliances, the Ukraine summit aimed to unite nations against Russia's actions in Ukraine. Despite this, key global players India and Saudi Arabia did not endorse the communiqué condemning Russia. This abstention reflects their nuanced foreign policies balancing historic ties with Moscow against current geopolitical shifts. Their stance suggests a commitment to non-alignment and national interest, avoiding a polarized global environment. This decision left the world wondering, what are the deeper reasons behind their stance? India's choice at the summit was not made in isolation. Nestled in a complex web of international relations, India has long cherished a multifaceted relationship with Russia. This bond is cemented by decades of military cooperation and energy dependencies. For years, Russia has been a principal supplier of defense equipment to India, a factor that heavily influences diplomatic decisions. Moreover, the energy sector plays a pivotal role. India, striving to fuel its rapidly growing economy, relies significantly on Russian oil and natural gas. This dependency shapes its foreign policy, often necessitating a delicate balance between maintaining this crucial relationship and engaging with Western powers. The art of balancing isn't new to India. It's part of a broader strategy known as strategic autonomy, a doctrine that allows India to navigate through global politics by not overly aligning with any major power bloc. This approach is evident in India's active participation in BRICS, a coalition that includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Here, India joins hands with powers that often are at odds with Western interests, yet it continues to engage constructively with the West. India's nuanced position at the summit can thus be seen as part of a larger pattern of aligning and realigning based on national interest, global dynamics, and the need to harness relationships that best serve its developmental and security objectives. This is not merely non-alignment, rather, it is multi-alignment, leveraging connections with all to secure the most favorable outcomes. Thus, India's stance at the summit was a calculated move, reflecting its broader diplomatic balancing act. Moving westward, Saudi Arabia's decision also speaks volumes. In the intricate ballet of international relations, the kingdom has recently pivoted towards a more nuanced foreign policy stance. Balancing acts between the West and Russia have become a hallmark of Saudi diplomacy, particularly evident in the realm of oil politics. Saudi Arabia, a pivotal player in global energy markets, has found an advantageous position through its relationship with Russia. Amidst the ebb and flow of global oil demands, the kingdom has not only maintained but also capitalized on its oil production strategies. This cooperation is part of a broader economic dance, with Riyadh and Moscow aligning within frameworks such as OPEC+, effectively managing oil production to influence global oil prices. This economic camaraderie extends into the sphere of defense and technology. Saudi Arabia has engaged with Russia on various defense collaborations, diversifying its military procurement and tapping into Russian technological advancements. This strategic engagement illustrates a shift from Saudi's traditional reliance on Western military hardware towards a more diversified portfolio, which includes Russian innovations. Such maneuvers are not just about economics or defense, they are about crafting a foreign policy that allows Saudi Arabia to assert its influence on the world stage more independently. By not aligning strictly with Western policies concerning global conflicts, such as the situation in Ukraine, Saudi Arabia positions itself as a pivotal player capable of swaying diplomatic outcomes. Saudi Arabia's neutral stance at the summit can be seen as part of a larger strategy to enhance its geopolitical leverage. The ripple effects of these decisions are profound. As India and Saudi Arabia step back from aligning with Western perspectives on the Ukraine conflict, we see a broader pattern of non-alignment shaping global politics. This stance isn't just about neutrality, it's about asserting sovereignty and strategic autonomy in an increasingly multipolar world. By not signing the communiqué at the Ukraine summit, these nations underscore a significant shift. They suggest that the era of a single global narrative dominated by Western powers might be waning. This move could embolden other countries to adopt a similar non-aligned or multi-aligned approach, especially those who feel sidelined in global dialogues dominated by traditional power blocs. What does this mean for global crises like the conflict in Ukraine? Potentially a more fragmented international response. Without a unified stance, leveraging international pressure becomes challenging. Each country's nuanced position could lead to a patchwork of alliances and responses. complicating efforts to address not just regional conflicts but also broader issues like climate change and economic instability. The summit's outcomes may well signal a shift towards a more multipolar world order. As the dust settles on the Ukraine summit, the geopolitical landscape seems ever more complex. Throughout the discussions, India and Saudi Arabia emerged as pivotal players, choosing paths driven by their strategic national interests and intricate global relationships. Their decisions underscore a broader trend. Many nations are increasingly prioritizing sovereignty and regional concerns over collective Western agendas. India's stance, marked by a delicate diplomacy, reflects its long-standing policy of non-alignment and the imperative to balance relations among global superpowers. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's calculated neutrality speaks to its role as a balancing force in the Middle East, while also maximizing its economic and political leverage internationally. These maneuvers at the summit hint at a potential shift towards a multipolar world, where power is not concentrated in the hands of a few but distributed among various influential nations. This evolving dynamic is crucial for understanding future international alignments and policies. As nations navigate these complex waters, the global community may witness a realignment of alliances and a redefinition of global diplomacy. The decisions at the Ukraine summit are not merely diplomatic choices, but reflections of a changing world order, leaving us all to ponder the future of global unity. Thank you for watching. If you found our analysis insightful, please consider subscribing to our channel for more updates and deep dives into global politics. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. Until next time, stay informed and engaged with the world around you. Your understanding and awareness are key to shaping a more interconnected and nuanced global community.